watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.
Everyone, and welcome to Bristol, Tennessee for Ghostfire Media. I'm Josh Laston. With me again, as always, is Mr. Adam Wood. Adam, how you doing this evening?
Oh man, it's fantastic here to be with these guys tonight here at the dirt track here. We get to see the dirt street stocks, a little bit more muscular car here. Get to sling some mud here and watch these guys. We're watching Dante Curtis, Dustin Shepard, and Bryan Hacker right now. Just testing it out right now. You got Dante on the low line, Dustin on the outside. It's going to be a fantastic night here. Bristol's going to put on a heck of a show.
Well, it's not banked nearly as steep as Bristol is on a normal night. There's still a whole lot of banking for these dirt tracks. It's still an asymmetrical track, and honestly, we've got to see some great racing last year in the Cup cars. Not your average dirt affair to where it kind of ended up being run like a normal Bristol race, for lack of a better term, a normal line, but still just fun to get to see, just like we are tonight, seeing some of these guys out of their comfort zone, running something just a little bit different. And on that topic, currently the top of the charts isn't a name we have seen at the top coming out of practice, Mr. Jeff Berger.
I mean, that number 2, the number 23 of Gary Eschen, he's he's normally, close to the top 5, but not in the second place. I mean, Jeff's been fast many nights of the week as well, but he's never, really raced the top position before. So, it's great to see different names out there for this little bit different environment.
And that's what I love about these kinds of races. It's the same thing that we got to see at Sonoma. A few different names at the top. A few people fighting for that top step of the podium. And you know what? It's why I like the wild card races. It doesn't help that I'm generally better at these wild card races. But still, I love getting to see a little bit of different action. And people like Dante Curtis that we see here, who drives these kinds of cars, drives these tracks in real life, knows it, but it's a matter of, is that real world experience going to make a huge difference in the sim when it's not what iRacing is necessarily known for?
Yeah, I mean, right now the lap times we're seeing are a lot slower due to the fact that, the track is kind of well worn in right now. So it's super slicked up. You see the black area, that's very slick right now versus kind of right now what we're seeing kind of the light brown. That means there's a little bit of, mud still there. They're able to get a little bit more traction. So right now they're just kind of having to pedal through the corners because it's kind of like ice almost. You hit the throttle a little bit too much there if you're in that black area. The rear end wants to kind of tweak out on you.
Well, and the good thing that we have is Bristol is generally a wider track for something that's a half a mile.
As you say that, they're 3 wide.
Yeah,
So,
and about to go 4.
4.
And these cars are narrower than your average stock car. So,
and they could take more of a beating, as we can see right there.
yeah, we're seeing a little bit of extra bumper being thrown in there, and of course it's on somebody else's back of that. Of course, why wouldn't it be? But definitely, these guys, there's a lot of extra track that they're going to be able to wear in, so we're going to see guys running that high line, hugging the wall, wearing out that top line. We'll see guys wearing out the low line. And it's just going to be a matter of who's bravest on the top line and how close to the wall we can see people get.
Seeing Bryan Hacker right now trying to hug the top line as much as he can as practice comes to an end, and Calamity Corner.
Why not? It's always fun. But it is time for qualifying. Oh, wait.
We're doing heat races.
I forgot about that.
So we're going to be doing 2 different heat races right now. We're going to do a 20 lap. The top 13 make it to the feature. Then heat race number 2 is also going to be 20 laps, and then the top 13 will make it. And then if there's more than 26 drivers, we'll have a consolidation race. And
it does not look like we have hit that number, because our first heat has 12, and we will run through just very quickly the 12 that we are going to have in this heat race. We have Bryan Hacker starting in the number 1 position, Justin Rigsby in 2nd, 3rd will be Dustin Shepard once he joins. In that 89, 4th is Devin Rogers, Matt Dula's in 5th, Brandon Kleczinski is in 6th, Travis Hoffler in 7th, Gary Eschen 8th, 9th is Adam Gable, 10th is Dante Curtis, and 11th is Ryan Johnson, and 12th is Jason Gordon, and it looks like Dustin Shepard actually missed the start, so we are going to go ahead and see these guys shuffle up forward. But we've got 20 laps. Unlike last time when these guys were on dirt, the caution laps will count.
Looks like Dustin Shepard just connected back to the server. Lucky for him, we did not reach the max, so he will be able to actually make it onto the final one. Same if he
without
can't
having
get into
to
this one.
fight through that consolidation. But he'll be starting this from the pit lane, which honestly, I don't think that's going to be too much of a worry, other than, yeah, he's going to have to start towards the back in the feature.
One quick caution, get him called right back up.
But as we're seeing these guys pacing around, giving a nice little gap to the pace truck, which should be peeling off momentarily down these dual pit roads, which are iconic for here at Bristol. And the pace truck is off, and we're ready to go green flag racing as Bryan Hacker leads them across the line, and we are moving. And that low line is getting a great run. The 17 of Matt Dula just follows in. We aren't seeing a lot of side sliding going on right now, but the 20 of Travis Hoffler is getting himself around Justin Rigsby as Bryan Hacker is taken and running away. But we're seeing the 91 of Adam Gable, Devin Rogers, and that is Justin Rigsby staying on that outside line, and he's not really able to get too clear. The 25 is going to get himself down on that low line as we see Matt Dula and Travis Hoffler get a little bit of contact, and that's going to open up the door for the 91 on that low line.
Yeah, right now you see Devin Rogers. He's underneath Matt Dula, number 25. Justin Rigsby's right behind him. He's hugging the outside like you're saying. The 29, though, of Jason Gordon's trying to slice up there with that past blue ribbon car. He's trying to stay on the outside and pinch Brendan Kleczinski down. He's able to clear him. So these guys are fighting pretty hard right now as we are just a few laps into this 20-lap event.
So we're starting to see a little bit of 3 wide here in the battle for 4th as Devin Rogers gets away just ever so slightly. The 31 is doing everything he can on that slightly higher line. It looks like the higher line may be the way to go right now as we're seeing Matt Dula drop just a little bit. He's starting to get Jason Gordon right there on his bumper, but we're seeing 2 of our points favorites going side by side, Dante Curtis and Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, they're battling hard. They're having to start at the back, trying to work the way forward. We see Dante Curtis run a little bit middle to high line right now. I mean, everybody's trying to search for the grip. As the track starts to wear a little bit, you'll see the center lane right now is kind of where everybody was running. It's starting to slick off, so they're dropping either to the lower bottom or going a little bit higher to the middle, trying to get those rear tires in the actual surface and not in that slick zone, trying to find any grip that they can.
All right, we see a little bit of contact between Ryan Johnson and Gary Eschen. Gary Eschen is taking that low line. He's down on that hard pack where there's not much grip, so we're starting to see Dante Curtis try to get a run on that low line. Him and Ryan Johnson are side by side, door handle to door handle, and keeping it nice and clean. These guys are, this is a marked improvement from the last time we were on dirt, but again, Bristol has that extra banking that helps keep things nice and tidy. But I'm going to move to the front right now. Adam Gable is trying to fend off Devin Rogers.
Yeah, Devin Rogers closed the gap on him just a little bit. Adam Gable slapped the wall ever so slightly and let Devin Rogers kind of close up. Devin Rogers using that bottom lane a little bit lower, getting a little bit more grip there off the bottoms, able to close the gap, get to his rear bumper. But now, what are you doing? I think you have to try to find a little bit different strategy because Adam in front of you is running your lane. You need to find either you got to drop it down to the lower banking, which is not that doable, or you got to try to run it up high and try to get a little bit of speed from him.
Well, we're starting to see that, but let's go ahead and jump back here as Dante Curtis continues the charge. He's up 3 spots right now, and now he's setting his sights on Matt Dula in 6th place. But we're seeing him, he's not really doing the standard dirt run to where he's getting the car a little bit sideways. He's starting to see what we saw in the Cup race here last year, to where these guys are pretty much just running a standard line for Bristol.
Gary Eschen's not holding off. He's like, I want my spot back. He gets a really good dive right there going into the corner, gets underneath him. Dante Curtis using a little extra momentum running that middle lane to kind of stay in front of him right now.
But what we're seeing is this track progress. We're starting to see that little bit of shiny on that low line, which means the dirt's packed, the rubber's down, and these dirt tires do not like anything but being in some loose dirt.
Yeah, you gotta search for that extra little bit of grip so this tires can actually push through it. When it hits that slick, it just wants to spin the tires, and spinning ain't winning.
It is not, and we're starting to, this is definitely the battle to be watching, as we're seeing Gary Eschen. He's getting really aggressive, getting down onto almost the flat of this track, and he's finding a way to make it fast.
Yeah. And while we're watching this battle, Devin Rogers was able to finally get past Adam Gable. He's up to 3rd, coming up right now on a Travis Hoffler. He's right there, closing in on him. He's slinging it sideways, going into the turn there. As you can see, Travis in front of him, he's kind of got a car little cocked sideways as well going to these corners.
Well, and here's the problem that we're going to end up seeing is we're going to go right here on the bumper. We'll see that nose of the 25 end up right there. And actually get to see a little bit extra suspension part right there. And these guys, Adam Gable is right there waiting. And you just can't wait as we see the 91 get himself around. Devin Rogers has to correct a little bit to keep himself out of the 91, but we're on the final lap and we'll just rewatch from the roll bar of Bryan Hacker in the 11 coming out of turn 3 to take the checkered flag in heat 1. That's going to give him pole position come the feature race. And from the flag drop, he was just gone.
Yeah, I mean, this very clean racing in this one. A little bit of beating and banging, but I mean that's typical dirt track / short track racing here. So it's great to see all that fantastic racing there in the heat number 1.
All right, then we are getting ourselves ready for heat number 2.
I'll run down the wonderful list here. We got Shane Loveridge starting on the pole here. Dan Janjanin will be second. Third will be Robbie Clavey. Fourth will be John Cross. Fifth will be Jesse Womack. Sixth will be Randy Nichols. Seventh will be Will Eastman. Eighth is Thomas Frisch. Ninth is Matt Cook. 10th will be Casey Wood. 11th will be Jeff Berginger. And 12th will be Jeff Mathis. So that's going to be the top 12 here tonight.
All right, I have to just say something about it. Dan Janjanin's car is brilliant. The fact that he quite literally has the dirt track junker, even with the old numbers underneath the new numbers. I'm sorry, that is just a perfect paint job for the night.
I mean, he's got to come in and just, got to throw the new paint, new number over the rusted area, spray paint it,
I mean, this is what I would expect to see. Okay, for me, the local track would be Bristol Speedway. It's about 20 minutes away from home. This is what I would expect to see there. Running their street stocks. Granted, it's not a dirt track. But
I got the Bristol Motor Speedway right down the street from me, about 5 miles or so. And it's a dirt track here. I'll be going to it this summer.
And Gary Eschen, he picked that car up today in the woods.
Most likely. Dale Jr.'s collections.
All right, we are getting ourselves ready to roll. And this is the problem with the dirt, is I can never remember where we are on the track. You know how you fix that right there? You pull up the map. All right, it looks like we are having the pace truck peel off, and it is time to go green flag racing. That inside line is going to get a good jump because they came out of the turn faster. Shane Loveridge is going to go ahead and lead us through turns 1 and 2. Robbie Clavey is trying to get there. Dan Janjanin, oh, this looks like it may be a little bit of chaos, but we keep it going straight, and that number 2 is falling back after a little bit of a wobble, but that's going to give Jesse Womack the opportunity to get up 3 spots, and these guys in this second heat are going to have to deal with the already beaten track. And Will Eastman in the number 13 is up 4 spots from where he started, and he's looking to make it 5.
And Robbie's running a little bit higher line there in that number 73. He's getting a great run down the front and back stretch here. Ooh, the 14 of them got a little bit. They apologized right there. Got in the back of him. He was trying to run right there, but see Robbie up top. I mean, he's having a lot of great speed.
And he is, and definitely good to see that nobody put themselves into the barrels and ruined their race for the night. Well, at least that. But Will Eastman is definitely just having a great run to open up, and he is up 6 positions from where he started. Shane Leverage, a name that we normally aren't getting to talk too much about being up on the podium positions, but he is running a fantastic race, as it looks like the 10 of John Cross may have had a wreck. Is he going to be in a position that is going to be compromising for these guys as they come around the track? No, he gets himself into the pits.
And right now, these guys are running like too wide right now. The 54 and of Thomas Frisch and Randy Nichols, they're running up basically side by side right there, trying to battle for that 3rd position. And Randy Nichols is doing his best to take that high line with the momentum, try to get by him.
And that's where there's just at least a little bit of fresh dirt. And as we can see, that high line has a lot of loose stuff, as we're seeing Robbie Clavey. He's getting a good run. Had to check up just a little bit for the car in front of him.
All right, I'm going to have to say something. Jeff started in the back. He's running full throttle right now. He's up 5 positions, sitting in that 6th spot. That shiny chrome and blue car right now, running door to door with Robbie Clavey. They bounced off of each other going down the back straightaway.
It's not as shiny as it was, but we're also talking dirt. And again, these cars, no windshield, just some bars in front to make sure that nothing big comes through and hits you. They're looking a little too clean for my liking. It's not to say that there isn't a bunch of mud, as Jeff Bergener from the back has himself up into 5th position, gets a little nudge from Robbie Clavey, who gets loose going through the turn. But it's time to go ahead and get ourselves back up here in the battle for 2nd. Shane Leverage has dropped back 1 more position, but it took Thomas Frisch it took a ton of work for him to be able to get that move, but now also Randy Nichols is looking to take advantage.
Yeah, right now, I mean, even though they're on the bottom line, these cars don't have a tremendous amount of torque for them to get totally sideways here in the corners. And you can see them hanging out just a little bit, but it's very manageable for it. So these guys are able to really recover and use that bottom line. If this car's had, probably 50 foot-pounds more of torque, they would have to probably move up to the middle lane, trying to search for some grip. But right now, they're able to run on the kind of the glossy track right there.
Again, it's turning into that standard Bristol line with just a little bit of rear end wiggle. But we're starting to see the 69 get down below that 54. He seems to have that low line figured out. And that's maybe a 1/10 of a second that he's clearing off lap by lap. Just taking the faster line around the track. But Will Eastman right now up 6 spots. He's loving this. That 13, which, all right, I'm going to say it does not look like the 13 that I'm used to. So that's going to confuse me all night. But yeah, it's just time for him to go ahead and tear away, as we're just going to keep watching this side-by-side action between the 69 and the 54.
Yeah, right now that's the best battle on the track we got right now. These guys are running very hard. Nobody wants to give it up. Nobody's going to be like, hey, you go ahead and move now. I'm trying to do it because we're 4 laps to the end of this heat. And whoever gets 2nd place is technically starting 4th. And whoever gets 3rd place is starting 6th. So you don't want to give up anything right now.
It's going to be a long race, so these guys are going to have a lot of opportunity to get themselves up towards the front of the pack, but you still have the bragging rights for coming in first or second in a heat race. Sometimes people will just stake their entire career on coming in third in Bristol Dirt.
And I mean, even have signs made for it too. And
But we have hit the final lap, and Will Eastman, despite starting in the middle of the pack, once he got clear, it was just game over for everyone, and he has just run a wonderful heat, and that is going to put him on the outside for the feature. And Randy Nichols actually finally gets the move completed. He had just a bit of a nose, gets a little bit of a love nudge there. And now it is time for our warm-up, and we will take this opportunity to go ahead and hear from a few of the sponsors of the North-South Racing League.
Cross Collision and Body is located in Minerva, Ohio, and specializes in returning your car back to its pre-accident condition. They work with all insurance companies to fix your car the correct way. For scheduling and questions, please visit their Facebook page or call the shop at 330-868-6011. J&G Hardwood Flooring is a small family-owned business which started in 2005, located in Christiana, Tennessee, and serves all of Middle Tennessee. Owners Josh and Brandon Kleczinski have a combined 35 years of experience to serve all of your flooring needs, from new construction, remodels, or even small repairs. For estimates and scheduling, call 615-904-2218.
Alright, we are back, as right now the camera is focused on the fastest so far in this session, Mr. Bryan Hacker, who is unfortunately going to end up a little bit back in the field. But that nice red chrome number 11, we get to see it a little bit different. See it blue on a normal week. But these guys are on a fresh track, and I'm curious if the track is going to carry over for a 75 lap feature.
I'm not sure how they're going to have it set up here going to it. Well, I don't see anything in the race info of how. So this says warm up is supposed to be clean 0%, and feature is carried over from warm up. So these guys are wearing out the track right now. So the more they wear it out, that's what it's going to start like on the race.
And you know what? More power to them. As
Where's
Dante
the drivers know
Curtis,
this?
Yeah, I mean, what are they going to do? Just sit there in pit road to have the perfect conditions out there during the race? It's just going to wear in during the race, so why not just go out there and get it up to that point now?
Yeah, I mean, so far we've seen these guys, they've run on track states that probably, I think near the end of practice, you probably saw it around probably 65-70%. So, and he raced one that had low usage of 25%. So we'll see what they can do for a 75 lap feature here we got here going on.
Where we have a total of 18 people who have run a lap in this. Gary Eschen is currently our fastest. Dan Janjanin actually in second right now. Matt Doula's in third, and these guys, I think it's going to be an absolutely fantastic battle. But the one thing that we have not talked about yet is the field invert. So we are going to end up with an invert of 11. So the person that finished in 5th in that, or 6th in the second heat is actually going to be the one to start up front.
Yeah, these guys are going to have some fun tonight. I think this track is going to put on a phenomenal race, as we're already seeing right now. First 2 heat races were fantastic. There was beating banging, there was side-by-side racing. We saw even 3 wide throughout the race, not just underneath practice, but we saw it during the actual, heat race. So now we're going to have the whole entire field of the 26 drivers, or 24 drivers, I think, I believe, get out here and provide a lot more fantastic racing.
And the one thing to note is we are starting to see that middle line. The track is starting to get that little bit of shine. So corner entry is going to be interesting. But it's time for us to get ourselves ready for our feature race. And sure enough, the person in the exact right seat for our inverted field is Mr. Dante Curtis. Second's going to be Robbie Clavey. Third, Justin Rigsby. Fourth, Shane Loveridge. Fifth, Devin Rogers. Sixth, Thomas Frisch. Seventh is Adam Gable. 8th, Randy Nichols. 9th, Travis Hoffler. 10th, Will Eastman. 11th is Bryan Hacker. And 12th is Jeff Mathis.
13th is going to be Gary Eschen. 14th will be Matt Cook. 15th will be Matt Dula. Was it? We're on what?
16th.
16th, there we go. Too many Matts there. I'm trying to figure out where we're at. 16th is Dan Janjanin. 17th will be Ryan Johnson. 18th will be John Cross. 19th is Brandon Kleczinski. 20th is Jesse Womack. 21st is Jason Gordon. 22nd is Jeff Berginger. 23rd is Dustin Shepard. And rounding out the top 24 will be Casey Wood.
And it looks like Jeff Bergener and Casey Wood are not going to be starting. So it looks like we're going to have a field of 22 on this absolutely quick dirt track. It's a half a mile. It's going to be some fantastic racing from these guys. And we get 75 laps.
Yep, and then we got good old Randy Nichols gets the EOLO for tonight, so
I mean,
he gets to head to the back.
It's one of those unfortunate things, but it's for all the best reasons.
Alrighty, the pace truck light is off. They're rounding out side of turn 2 here, going down the back straightaway.
But one thing I am going to be curious about is if we get a few too many cautions, are these guys going to want to pit for some fresh tires? I'm going to say probably not. But hopefully we don't have to run into that as the pace truck is off. Dante Curtis is going to lead us to green. They are side by side and we are moving as the 31 is giving an amazing push to Dante Curtis. These guys are going to take that low line before they're fully up to speed. The 25 is almost cleared of Robbie Clavey. And they are just off. We're seeing single file all the way up to this 3-wide action between the 11, the 54, and the 73.
And the 23.
Or the 23.
Yeah, they're battling.
Good Lord. Now, Bryan Hacker is going to be clear, but Gary Eschen is not going to go away. He's going to try to make up as many positions as he can. He has Will Eastman right on his bumper, and it's looking like that low line is the place to be as we see the 23 get himself clear of that action. The 73 had a little bit of a tap on the wall coming out of turn. Yeah, that was turn 2.
And we got the 13 right now. He's trying to make up some position. Will Eastman. Matt Dula is up 7 spots right now. He's sitting in our 8th right there. You got Thomas Frisch. He's lost 3 spots since the race began. Ryan Johnson is our biggest mover right now. He's plus 8 positions where he's sitting right now in that huge battle. Almost 17. Matt Dula gets a little loose, knocks out 23 of Gary Eschen.
And he's still moving. And Jason Gordon, it looks like we may have had the issue that finally brings out the first caution of the night. Looks like the 29 Jason Gordon had a little bit of an issue. And
A little bit of help too.
yeah, that's a little nudge right there from the 91. And puts him to the inside wall, and he had to jump into the pits. That's not a good sign.
I'm not sure if he had to jump in the pits or it's just one of those, you know, instinctual things from practice where you automatically do it and you're like, oh crap, I didn't have to do that.
I've unfortunately done that in situations that have actually cost me races. But we have our first caution of the night. It looks like we aren't going to have any takers on pit road, actually. Gary Eschen has found his way in. I wonder if he's just trying to get a little bit of damage repaired from a few wall slaps, or is he done for the night?
I think he's probably just getting a little bit of repair. Or if he gets some right side tires, maybe. I don't think he would need right side tires just yet, but you know, I definitely would come and get a little bit of repair done.
Well, here comes the question. Was he possibly not aware of the fact that we're counting caution laps tonight? So he can't just sit in the pits and end up coming in or coming out and running like no harm, no foul.
Yeah, last time we were here doing dirt track racing, that's what it was. You know, we did count the caution laps so they can come and get all the repairs, pit, do whatever they need to do, and they come back out in the exact same position. But now we're counting the caution laps, so he goes laps down.
And he's making his way around. If he manages to keep it clean, he only ends up going down 1 lap. It's not the end of the world.
I mean, it's only one lap down. I think Jason Gordon's still waiting to be towed. So he's the only person a lap down. So if we have another quick caution, he gets the lucky dog. He gets to go right back by him.
And we're lining up 2 by 2. Lights on the pace truck are off and should be diving down. So Dante Curtis leads us to green. And he is off early, and that's going to give that inside line. The 25 is going to get a great jump, get himself clear of the 31. And we're seeing Justin Brigsby have a little bit of an issue. But Bryan Hacker, he gives a little bit of a nudge to the 25. And he's trying to get his way up there as Dante Curtis is just starting to sail off. We'll go ahead and take a look as we're seeing a little bit of love there between Will Eastman and Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson manages to keep it straight, but Bryan Hacker in that number 11, he's technically in second place. He's passed as we go across the line. But the top 5, oh, we're seeing a little chaos from just a little tap between Bryan Hacker and Devin Rogers.
And then we saw a little bit between Dan Janjanin and Will Eastman right there. So there's a lot of action going on throughout the whole entire track here. We got some 2 wide action behind these guys. I mean, there's no shortage of action right now here on these couple laps right after caution.
And that's the best part from a viewer's aspect, is getting to see everybody bunch back together, side-by-side action. As a driver, you hate every second of it, but we're watching that barn find of Dan Janjanin. He's running that high line, trying to make it work. Eventually, that is going to be the right move. He's kind of pushing the 91 of Adam Gable down, getting a good run out of the turn, but not really able to. Ooh, that's just the ever so slightest, just fighting the net code, as we're seeing the same thing through 2 and 3. But the outside line has such great momentum that as long as you can keep it tidy, you're going to have some speed coming out of the corner.
Yeah, I mean, he's working the top line, and now he's having to drop down to the bottom. So, I mean, he's trying everything he can to get past Adam Gable here in that wonderful 91. Oh, he got a little bit too greedy right there. Rear end almost cocked around on him. Luckily, they were able to kind of maneuver around them right there. A little like Randy Nichols had to put the brakes on.
As I got to jump up to the front here to where this is the battle for 4th, to where it's Matt Dula, Will Eastman, Ryan Johnson, and Thomas Frisk. These guys are trying to take up the same maybe 50 feet of space on the track as we see Ryan Johnson get up towards the wall. Will Eastman is running, and actually we've got an extra car joining the fray, and that's Justin Rigsby. And it is absolute chaos out on track right now.
Yeah, I was watching just a few minutes, like 3 laps ago, and Bryan Hacker was under fire. Like, everybody was like charging him, and now he's able to pull away. He caught up to the front, and we got a battlefield lead right now. Devin Rogers is underneath him, and Bryan Hacker's right there trying to capitalize as well.
As I wanted to highlight the hornet's nest that we had towards the back of the field, and we have this, and caution is out right as Devin Rogers gets the nose in front of Dante Curtis to take the lead. So let's, oh, that's not what we want to see, but let's take a quick look, get a little farther away here, see what happens. Oh, the 91 gets a bumper into Dan Janjanin, collects the 10 of John Cross, and basically we get one moment and chaos ensues. And that's not even much of a tap, just enough to take out. That's 4 cars involved. That's also the last thing that Dante Curtis wanted to see, as we see the 23 get his lap back. But while we are under caution, let's go ahead and take a moment and hear just a little bit more from the sponsors of the North-South Racing League.
5 Star Realty Group is located on the Emerald Coast in beautiful Panama City, Florida. The 5 Star Realty Group has years of experience in residential properties, investment opportunities, vacation rentals, and commercial properties, and looks forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Kelly's Custom Engraving is a locally owned and operated business located in Wellville, North Carolina, specializing in custom engraving of wood, leather, glass, acrylic, and many more materials. Be sure to like and follow their Facebook page to view all of their amazing products and place your order.
And we are back, and that was the worst time caution, depending on who you're rooting for, to where if you're a Dante Curtis fan, or Dante Curtis himself, that was the worst time caution ever, because Devin Rogers just got the nose in front. Or anyone out there rooting for Devin Rogers, now he gets a clean start towards the front because the lights on the pace truck are off. No, we've got one more. Never mind.
They're about to slowly start stacking up here. And kind of look like they're getting 2 by 2 here, anticipating it.
That's why it threw me off, and they're so far off the pace truck I can't see. But right now, Devin Rogers gets to control this restart, which means he's going to be able to get clear no matter what happens. But the major question really does become, is he going to pull Bryan Hacker with him? And I can see that happening, as right now we see the pace truck peel off, so he is going to get to go when he wants. And he is off relatively early, gets a great jump. But I don't think Bryan Hacker's going to really have the momentum to be able to get himself clear of Dante Curtis. And Dante Curtis holds on to the bumper of the 25, and that's going to give him the opportunity to get there. But Bryan Hacker is putting the move on Devin Rogers, and he's going to have the nose to where he's going to be able to lead that lap. And right now, Matt Dula is trying to take advantage. Bryan Hacker gets really loose, checks up that outside line.
I don't think he got loose. I think he cleared himself and slide jobbed it up there, stacked up that whole entire field right there, and Devin Rogers wasn't having it. He drops down low, tries to. Now it's his turn to do the slide job.
And that tail end comes out wide, which forces the 11 up all the way, and that's going to give Matt Dula the opportunity to get himself up into second. If he's able to get a good launch coming out of turn 4, it looks like he is, and he may be able to get a nose down below the 25. The 11's given a little bit of a push to where if there's any kind of an error there, somebody's around. But who else but our points leader of Ryan Johnson, having made it up 14 positions right now to be in the conversation for taking over the lead and the conversation for taking over second.
Yeah, I mean, right now we saw Bryan Hacker clear Devin Rogers. Devin Rogers dropped below. He clears Bryan Hacker. And then Matt Dula and the 17 drops low just like Devin Rogers did. And now Matt Dula is leading the race. So he pulled the exact move that Devin Rogers did to take over it. So, but he's able to stay on the low line. Doesn't give Ryan Johnson a chance to drop below him to continue this freight train of ever cycling leaders.
Well, and basically what we're going to see is it seems like, okay, person on the low line gets themselves up there, and yellow is out. I don't know. I think Ryan Johnson may have had the nose in front of Devin Rogers there, and it looks like that was the case. And was the 11 in front of him? All right, let's see what happened here. We're taking a look. It looks like the 20 of Travis Hoffler. Oh, just gets around it. Oh, right into the barrels and right into the middle of the track. He was having a relatively good run. Just a quiet evening and just a little too much throttle for one moment. And
yeah, and whenever you start aiming, I mean, you turn left, turn right, the car doesn't want to go anywhere. It's just sliding straight.
And unfortunately, those water barrels are unforgiving. I could probably interview about, well, I know one person's very open about their water barrel moments.
But he's open about it, but I don't think he likes you always bringing it up.
I have to. But while we are under caution one more time, let's hear from a few more sponsors of North-South Racing League.
Track Time Entertainment is located in Texas and builds custom driving simulators with a personal touch. Rigs are fully customizable with color options and utilize 80/20 US extruded aluminum. These rigs offer a wide range of adjustability, as well as different options for wheels, shifters, and keyboards. The possibilities are endless. If you can dream it, Track Time Entertainment can build it for you. RC2 Race Promotions is an iRacing event planning and coordination service. If you have an idea for a special one-off money race but don't have the time to handle all the legwork, RC2RP can help. We offer event conception, planning, day-to-day operations, and race event services to cover all of your needs. We are competitively priced and offer detailed services to make sure you get the most bang for your buck. To inquire, visit us on Facebook.
Alrighty, we're back at the track, and speaking of RC2, the race promotions, Ghostfire Media is going to be teaming up with them to run the Alabama 500. If you are out there love plate racing, come out Friday, June 10th. We have heat races. It's going
to... I think we just lost Adam there, mid-sentence. So what Adam was talking about is RC2. We are going to be partnering with them for a whole lot of Talladega. The weekend of June 10th, 11th, and 12th, they will be running heat races on basically every evening before the feature event, which will be a full-length Talladega race, and I'm looking forward to it. I will be in the booth because I'm terrible at plate tracks, even though I'd love to run it. But the pace truck is off. Matt Dula is off in a flash and gets himself up to the front of this race. Ryan Johnson right there behind him, and we're seeing a little bit of spreading out, some of the three wide back in the pack, and seeing the 14 get pushed out just a little bit as we're seeing Bryan Hacker trying to fight his way back up to the front. But there's a hornet's nest going on right now in the middle of this pack, and the 14 is trying to get himself down right next to Dante Curtis. But we're seeing Devin Rogers trying to get himself back up to the front of this pack, and he's side by side with the 14 right now. Has the low line, has the faster line around the track, but will the 14 be able to hold his position and take advantage of that extra momentum? It looks like they're going to keep going side by side. The 14, we see the 25 get a little bit loose, but we keep it green.
Yeah, it knocks Bryan Hacker back quite a few positions there by doing that right there. But Dante Curtis is trying to get clear right now, right at the front of that pack of number 54.
And he is fighting hard. He's managing to keep, as we see a slide job from the 03. But the 54, Thomas Frisch, he was ready for it. But is he ready for the battle from Jesse Womack? And we're starting to see a little three wide. The 14 stays down on the low line. He's keeping all four tires in that worn track. The 03 is pushing the 54 right now, trying to keep his way up there. But I got to get up to the front. We're seeing a battle. Matt Dula is getting passed by Ryan Johnson. Matt Dula looks like he's going to try to cross him over, but thinks better of it and just stay calm and run away from the pack.
Ooh, they're battling door to door, three wide. 14, 11, and the 25 banging going down the back straightaway. 11 just banged into the 25. 25 in the 31 of Justin Rigsby. Yeah.
And no caution, but it looks like they're staying straight as Justin Rigsby. He's moving, but he's into the pits. But we're going to get ourselves back up here as Dante Curtis and Thomas Frisch, they are going side by side. Dante Curtis has the low line. He's taking all the track, and it looks like his rear wheel gets into the front end, sends him a little closer to the wall. He holds on to it, but Bryan Hacker is taking advantage, getting on that low line, getting himself a little bit sideways, and getting up towards into 4th place. But is he able to hold on to it right now? Because there is the 69 of Randy Nichols right there on his bumper.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm looking at one of my on my screen, and it looks like somewhere between Will Eastman and Devin Rogers. There's like a puff of smoke falling behind him on my screen. I'm not seeing it on your screen, but on mine it's kind of weird. It looks like a kind of like an engine puff smoke, but I don't see it all happening on yours.
But we're seeing a whole lot of side by side right now. As right now, Randy Nichols is trying to get to the outside line, working where he can try to chase down Dante Curtis for that final spot on the podium, but Bryan Hacker's not giving up. But we are seeing so much side by side as we're seeing Bryan Hacker get real aggressive.
There's a wreck.
And as we hit 25 laps to go, yellow's out one more time. Let's see what happens here. That's right behind all of that action. This is Brandon Kleczinski, and catches Devin Rogers. Let's go to a different angle here and see what happens. That's Thomas Frisch, and he's just on the entry to 1, gets a little bit loose, it goes down, hits the 14. That slows him down enough to where he catches Devin Rogers, and then just a whole lot of action happening behind him.
Yeah, Devin Rogers just the wrong place, wrong time. So was a 98. Brandon Kleczinski, he was at the wrong time. 54 and the 14 were battling pretty hard, and they kind of bumped a little bit there, and just sent them up the track.
And right now, Ryan Johnson up 16 positions to be leading the race tonight. That is absolute insanity. And right now, he's sitting in position. If he can hold on to this, he could lose 2 more spots, and he's still the Track Time Entertainment hard charger for the night.
Yeah, we got Jesse Womack right now. He's up 14 spots, sitting in 6th spot. And Matt Dula is the next one up. He's sitting in 2nd spot right now. And he's moved up 13 spots since the race started.
And obviously, that Red Bull car of Jesse Womack, it's given him some wings tonight. And he is flying through the pack. But Ryan Johnson, right now, currently the points leader with only a few extra races. We've got 4 races after tonight. And
now we're dwindling down. Just a few more races left.
And Ryan Johnson, he's currently sitting. I can't do math this quickly. 18 points clear. So he's in the exact right position that he wants to be when his next competitor is currently sitting 2 spots behind him.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing what he has to right now. Leading the race, got a point, and trying to get a win.
And he's taking the outside line. We're going to see a few wave arounds in the lap.
No, they did not. They did not get the wave around.
Oh, that's going to make this interesting.
And they're extending the caution. There you go.
All right.
So they're going to go ahead and pass it now. So they're going to clear black flags from what the race control says. So they're going to head extend it to 1 lap, let these guys catch up and go around the pace car.
That's the right move, because obviously both of the cars that we got to see there, they were involved in that last wreck. They're going to have some damage, which means they aren't going to be up to speed let's get him out of the way to make sure that we have a nice fair fight going on back here. We're going to go green with 19 laps to go. We'll see if we can get 19 good, clean laps, but with how these guys have been running, I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little bit messy. But I'm into
dicey.
it. As we are off, and Ryan Johnson gets an amazing jump. He's pulling Bryan Hacker along for the ride. He's going to get clear of Matt Dula. Matt Dula is going to end up sliding, checking
Look at
up
Will Eastman.
03, but Will Eastman, oh my God, that is the run where he's down below Bryan Hacker. He's going to have the entry into turn 1. He's going to try to get himself down around Bryan Hacker. Bryan Hacker closes off his exit. That's going to kill his speed. But this battle is raging. And the one thing, we missed it. Dante Curtis has fallen back to 7th at this point.
He makes a heck of a move right there to dive underneath Adam Gable, though. He was stuck on the outside line and just dropped it low going in the corner. And it's going to clear Adam Gable. Now he's trying to get side by side with Randy Nichols in that 69.
And he's not going to have much room because we're seeing Matt Dula right there. They are getting close, but Dante Curtis is doing everything he can to try to put his name in the hat for the win tonight. And he's leaving no space on track.
I mean, you're seeing him having a checkup right there. I mean, he checked up hard for Matt Dula. Matt Dula's getting a little bit more sideways than Dante Curtis is. Dante Curtis is getting a lot better run center off, and he has to kind of slow down for Matt Dula right now. He's getting a bump draft going down the back straightaway.
And this isn't a track as we see the 69 get into the 17. Move him down to the inside. That's going to give Dante Curtis the opportunity to take this 3 wide into turn 3. Matt Dula is going to get himself clear. But this battle is just going to keep raging on. And that's opening up the door for the 91 of Adam Gable. These guys are going to go 3 wide as Matt Dula and Dante Curtis. Dante Curtis got a little extra love there in that turn, but that's going to drop him back. And honestly, from what we've seen, he's going to have time. He's going to find his way back up here.
We got a battle right now for second. Bryan Hacker just got past Will Eastman to take over that second spot. He is now looking for Ryan Johnson sitting in first place. He's trying to run him down. Ryan Johnson's running the bottom line. Will Eastman and Bryan Hacker, they're running the middle to high lane right here. So totally different lines right here between the 3 of them. So we're going to have to see if Bryan Hacker can make his way up there.
As we're seeing that beautiful dirt Pontiac that isn't so clean, but dang it, is it fast as he's trying to close it down. He was ever so slightly faster on that last lap, only by 0.04 of a second. But we're seeing that closing speed that he has there, where he's coming up quick. And Will Eastman's following himself. Now the question is, as we see the 13 throw one down on the low line to get himself next to Bryan Hacker, what are we going to see from Ryan Johnson? Is he going to fight to keep this win? Or is he just going to fight to survive knowing that Dante Curtis is back as Bryan Hacker gives him a little bit of a tap to go for the lead of this race, but Ryan Johnson's going to have that extra momentum on that outside line. Bryan Hacker's making that inside line. Oh, as he gets loose coming out of turn 2. That's going to give Will Eastman the opportunity to get himself to the lead of this race. The 11 is looking a little bit sketchy going through these turns and forcing our points leader, as the 69 is doing the same thing now. I don't know if I have the energy in me to be able to deal with this tonight.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson trying to battle back to get by him so he can go back and challenge Will Eastman for the lead here. But trying to get past Bryan Hacker is going to be a heck of a challenge for him.
And that's the thing. If I'm Ryan Johnson, I know we're coming down to the end of the year. I'm in the points lead. My biggest challenger is back in the pack. I'm just going to survive. I don't need Randy Nichols right now to give me the tip, send me around and make it to where I don't finish this race.
We're coming to the end. We're at 4 laps to go right now.
And about to cross for 3 as Will Eastman, once he got clear, he just took off. But I'm going to jump back here as we're seeing Matt Cook and Gary Eschen go side by side. And difference in lines right now. The low line looks like it is definitely faster as we're seeing Gary Eschen try to cross him over, going through 3 and 4. But we've got ourselves a battle right now. This is the battle for 3rd through 4th as Bryan Hacker is under a lot of pressure from Ryan Johnson. He's basically bump drafting the entire way, but the white flag is out. And we're seeing Will Eastman just quietly run away while there's a hornet's nest behind.
I mean, that's what he wanted to see is he's getting clear. He's only got 1 more corner to go. He's on the front straightaway. Checker flag is out. Will Eastman will be your winner tonight.
And Ryan Johnson manages to pull himself up and keep on to that final step of the podium with Bryan Hacker finishing in 2nd. Again, Ryan Johnson, that is a Herculean run from him, but you cannot discount the quality that Will Eastman had tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan Johnson squeezed out that 3rd place to get the podium by basically, what was that? Less than 1/10 of a second. A couple hundredths.
It was not much.
No.
So, all right, our winner tonight is Will Eastman, 2nd, Bryan Hacker, 3rd, Ryan Johnson, 4th, Randy Nichols, 5th, Adam Gable, 6th, Matt Dula, 7th, Jeff Mathis, 8th, Dante Curtis, 9th, Devin Rogers, 10th, Matt Cook, 11th, Gary Eschen, 12th, Robbie Clavey.
13th is going to be Brendan Kleczinski. 14th will be Shane Loveridge. 15th is Dan Janjanin. 16th is Jonathan Cross. 17th is Jesse Womack. 18th is Thomas Frisch. 19th is Justin Rigsby. 20th is Travis Hoffler. 21st is Jason Gordon.
Sound
and
resumed.
22nd
Microphone
will be
activated.
Dustin Shepard.
All right. So we also had Jeff Bergener and Casey Wood who didn't turn laps, but it happens. So let's go ahead and bring up our race winner tonight, Mr. Will Eastman. And of course, I can't find anything right now.
Insufficient permissions.
And apparently, I'm unable to
User joined your channel.
anyone in, so I'm gonna have to make you bring him in, Adam.
I don't have admin rights either. I don't know what happened to yours. You're the only one that had the admin rights.
Oh, lovely. Could you do me a favor and go ahead? Well, I also had to reinstall, so yeah, different rights. So, sorry, technical difficulties because, yeah, unfortunately, iRacing hates me. and had to have some issues resolve themselves by completely reinstalling Windows, because yeah, that's ultimately.
I mean, we can. Let's see here. What if we can drag him into a different race room nobody's using?
I'm
Hop
gonna
down.
go ahead and do that, because I'm gonna go into race room 4 and cheat.
User left your channel.
And we'll see if that actually works. I doubt it, but
Insufficient permissions.
yeah. As everyone out there in internet land gets to hear me, have insufficient permissions. Because that is the way the world seems to work for me these days.
User joined your channel.
Nope, that did not work.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing. Because when in doubt, there's always an issue. Do me one favor and... Wait, let me see. Can I
Let me see.
just do this?
Nope, can't get into Robbie's chat to talk to him.
Yeah, that's what I was just literally trying.
I tried and it was password protected.
Yeah, of course they are. Do me a favor. Oh, yeah, no. Never mind. They're all password protected. So, I think what we are going to go ahead and do is, Mr. Wood, if you wouldn't mind just go ahead and kind of bouncing around and trying to find a way to make this happen.
I'm working on it right now. I've already messaged him every way possible.
Which sounds about right. So,
All right, I have it. All right, let's see. We'll bring up Will Eastman. Maybe. Let's see.
hopefully.
Let's see here.
Channel User group was changed moved to to
There
your
we
channel.
go. So, of course, Will, you had a fantastic run,
Server group
and then
assigned.
for some reason we can't get you up here. Actually, we know the reason. Oh, that was the run of a lifetime, making up 9 spots to take the win tonight.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I got up there pretty quick, and that one restart got caught up on the top and dropped me back. So I didn't think I was going to get back up there, but what a finish. That was a great race.
Yeah, I mean, you did fantastic all night long. I mean, you had a battle back. I mean, everybody gets put on that wrong line, and you fall backward, you move forward, you get into 3 wide battles, and you get in unlucky spots. But I mean, ultimately, there at the end, you were in the right spot. You're able to kind of battle there with the top 3 and do a little beating and banging. You're able to kind of clear them and then just set sail there at the end.
Yeah, when I got onto the back bumper of Bryan there, I was balanced side by side with him, and it wasn't helping us catch Ryan. So I kind of just got behind him and let him close up, and figured he would pull a slider or do something, and it worked out perfect.
Honestly, it was one of those kind of moves that we saw you sitting in third. It looked like you were just lying in wait, and obviously that was exactly what it was, because once Bryan kind of shoved Ryan out of the way a little bit, you were just there and then gone.
Yeah, that happened. I didn't even lift, and they parted ways, and I was able to drive right through them.
Right place, right time.
Absolutely.
But I mean, it wasn't because you were slow or anything, but I mean, you're just right place, right time to capitalize on it and just set sail, man. It was great racing though. I mean, we had you highlighted multiple times tonight, even through the heat races. I mean, you put down some heck of a lap times, and as the track slicked off, it looked like the race kind of came to you there.
Yeah, I was hoping the track would, last night in practice when it slicked off a lot more, I felt like I was better the worse it got. And at those last probably 10, 15 laps were getting close to where I would like it. So I was hoping it would be a little longer.
No, it definitely seemed to come to you once it was what most people consider the worst track conditions. You had it under control, and it was a brilliant drive tonight from you.
Thank you very much.
So, congratulations on the win. Unfortunately, next week that means you get to start from the back.
That's all right. I'll take it.
I was going to say that's the best reason to be starting from the back of any race. But congratulations on the win. And hopefully we'll get to chat with you next week.
I hope so. Sounds good to me.
All right. Take care and have yourself a good evening.
You too. Thank you.
Adam, you're in control there, buddy.
Yeah, you have admin too now.
Oh, now I do? Okay.
Yeah.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right. Sorry, I'm still a little bit behind, and maybe I wanted to make Adam work. But all right, it is onward to
User was
chat
moved to
with
your
our
channel.
second place finisher, Mr. Bryan Hacker. How you doing this evening?
Not doing bad. I'd like to be one position better.
I mean, you both made up 9 positions from the start. Again, what would have been 10?
Yeah, I love dirt racing. This I don't really consider dirt racing. I was just telling Ryan, who's I think well, not I think I know he's not too happy with me, but I was just telling him that it's more or less super speedway racing on dirt. I mean, you're just full throttle pinned, and there's no drafting or anything like that, but when everybody's running more or less the same line there at the end after the track slicked off, there wasn't a whole lot you could do outside of try something creative.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of creative from you. Saw a little bit of noses being chopped off, some slide jobs, but made it interesting for us here in the booth.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll have a few questions to answer. It is what it is. I haven't gotten a win yet this season. I'm sick of finishing, top 5, top 10, and not coming home with a win. So I decided once I got to second and I got under Ryan, once Will and I caught him, I was like, I'm going to go for it. And I thought I was going to be able to send it off in there and clear him. And I clipped his nose, and that's 100% on me.
I gotcha. I mean, you were fast all night. I mean, you ran away in Heat 1. You were able to just kind of leave the field. Unfortunately, the invert was 11, so it got you put all the way back to 11th, and you had to battle back through, multiple restarts. Sometimes you're on the outside, sometimes you're on the inside. But, you get stuck on the outside. If the lane doesn't get moving, you're kind of lost in the sauce right there for a little bit. And, but you battle your way back through the field, past a heck of a lot of cars doing it, and come home second. It's not the win, but I mean it's a great points night for you.
No, it's not the win, and as much as I was aggressive tonight, I got chewed up and spit out a lot too. So by the end of it, those last 20 to go, I decided I was going to be the aggressor and not somebody else's door to knock through. So that was my plan, and it got us a second. But at the same time, if I hadn't gotten into Ryan and we could have raced it out those last 10 laps, we might have gotten been able to come away with a win and done it a little more cleanly. I like Ryan. He's a good guy. I don't want to, piss anyone off. I don't want to knock him out of the way intentionally. It certainly wasn't my plan.
No, but it was a great run. I can feel your pain because we've got to focus on you up in those podium positions so much, and just that almost reaching the point of, I show my age as I say this, but the just YOLO moments to where I want that win.
Yeah, I mean, I've got one in my 3 seasons here, and I think I finished in the top 5 probably 15 times. So the fact that I keep finishing in the top 5 and not getting a win, certainly changes a little bit how I race. Certainly tonight, not every night, but certainly tonight when I knew I had a chance.
Well,
So
next week we go to Nashville Fairgrounds. It's basically a standard short track. How do you feel going in?
I've done pretty well there in the past, so hopefully that holds true next week. We'll see. It's obviously a change going from, man, we went from road course to more super speedway races to, dirt to now back to more of a standard short track. So I think I'm looking forward to that. I think the rest of the way out, we're kind of on these standard street stock short tracks. So that bodes well for me, I think, and looking forward to it.
yeah, so we got 4 races left, and mostly all of them are kind of short track. Phoenix might have just a little bit of a speed to it there in 2 weeks, but other than that, you got 5 flags and Langley coming up afterwards. So, I mean, you're gonna have some great tracks to work with there for the next 4 races to close this season off.
Yeah, that should be fun. Phoenix, I don't know how it's going to be in these cars. Some of these bigger tracks are hit and miss when you get the draft in effect. It kind of takes away from some of the racing. It's just more, pack racing, which isn't truly what the street stocks do normally. But that's the schedule that's in front of us. So we'll finish it out these last 4 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, then with tonight, you're gonna still stay solidly in that 3rd place tonight. Uh, Closed in a little bit of points on Dante Curtis. I mean, he's going to have the most horrible nights. Both him and Ryan Johnson. Uh, got to have the most horrible nights for at least 2 to 3 races, and you got to have the most spectacular to get up there. But I think you're going to be solidly in 3rd place throughout the rest of the season, which is a great thing because I mean there's so many great drivers here in this league, putting on a heck of a show every week. So to be there, it's quite an accomplishment so far.
Yeah, certainly. 3rd place is nothing to sneeze at here, and I told Ryan right before I jumped up here with you guys to, that I had to do something if I wanted to get a win. If I wanted to even think about sniffing the points, I had to do something. So, I went for the theatrics tonight. They didn't quite work out the way that I wanted them to, but hopefully the rest of the season works out.
Gotcha, man. Well, have a good night. We'll see you next week at Nashville.
All right, thanks, guys.
User was moved out of your
All
channel.
right. It is time to speak with the
User was
gentleman
moved to
that
your
seems
channel.
to be weekly. Mr. Ryan Johnson, how you feeling after that one?
Well, was upset. Talked it out. I feel a little better, but still a little upset. I mean, it's how racing goes sometimes.
I mean, no one really got called to the trailer. But it was still one of those nights, if you rewatch the broadcast, you kind of had the moment to where if I'm in your shoes, it's going to be, yeah, I really want the win, but how bad do I want it at the expense of a terrible points night?
Yeah, trust me, that was going through my head the whole time, and well, I mean, the whole time Brian and Will were catching me. What I was doing earlier wasn't working. The track had changed, and they were catching me. And I mean, if they got runs on me, I wasn't. I was going to put up a fight because I mean, who doesn't want to win? But I I had a run on the high side, and yeah, I got together, took away a 0x. That I mean, we already talked it out. It happens. It sucks, but it happens. Um, Really, not much to say. I mean, Will was fast as hell. Congrats to him. I think this is his first win with us. It's been close a lot of times. Brian was fast. We normally, race really clean around each other, really hard and really clean. Just gonna move on to next week.
Well, next week it's Nashville Fairgrounds. Pretty much standard short track fair and a standard short track car.
Yeah, Nashville. If Nashville has been our black sheep, if you will, I feel the past couple seasons. I think the past 3 seasons we've had the most cautions in the season came at this track or at that track. Um, it's a lot of fun if we can get some green flag racing. Uh, so I'm just hoping it's a lot cleaner than it has been.
How does so it sounds like you got a lot of experience there. How does the cars handle the bumps there? Because I mean, Nashville's Fairgrounds is not a smooth track. It's got bumps in both the lower preferred groove and up in the higher groove if you try to run the wall or a little bit higher run. So how does these cars manage the bumps there?
About as well as you'd expect. Not very good overall. It gets really tight coming off the corners, which is why I think we have had some issues. Because obviously, people get runs on the high line, and people are trying to come up off the low line to get a run down the straight, and it gets pretty hectic. But I mean, we got a good league here, a good group of guys. I think hopefully we'll be able to put on another good show.
No, I was curious about the exact same thing because I know corner exit at this track is murder in just about any car. But I kind of figured the street stocks may be able to handle it, but I can also understand if it ends up being a caution fest because that's pretty much everything at this track.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully not. We're later in the season. I think one of the issues was we had, so many people. We had full fields, I think, most of the time we were there. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. My memory's terrible. But we're later in the season now, and we've got less people showing up sometimes. And I think we'll have a good race. I'm hoping we do. I really am.
Oh, I'm hoping so too because we're officially at the downhill section towards the end. Tonight was going to be, despite a little bit of a rough finish, a fantastic gapper week for you to be able to pad those points going into the final run. So you can complain, but at the same time, it still worked out pretty damn well.
Yeah, and that was like one of my bigger worries at the beginning, towards the end there when Brian and Will were catching me. I kept looking up and seeing a yellow car. I'm like, oh no, Dante's catching me. And then I was able to finally glance down at the relative, and I'm like, uh-oh, I don't see him. I was like, oh, that's Will. He got a new paint scheme. So yeah, another good points night at least for the most part. We're gonna need everything we can get. Dante's gonna be tough the last couple races, I think. I don't know what the rest of the schedule looks like, but I think he's usually pretty good at Nashville too. So yeah, hopefully we can just keep on building them points. That's all we got to do.
User joined your channel.
Exactly. But I think, again, an absolutely fantastic run from you tonight. Got a few laps led, but couldn't quite close it out. But again, it was still the perfect points finish.
Yeah, definitely. Just looking forward to next week.
All right. Sounds good. Hopefully, well, chances are we'll chat with you next week, too.
I'm hoping.
All right. Any parting words for the crowd out there tonight?
Yeah, just want to thank all the admins at NSRO, all our sponsors that we got. Everybody tuning in and watching, you guys for broadcasting, my teammates, and yeah, we'll see you next week. Have a good night, guys.
All right. Take care, sir.
You too.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right. I think that is going to do it for us this evening.
That's all I got. I mean, like I said, we have Ghostfire Media on Wednesday night, and we're going to be doing the Sim 500 League. And then later this year, on June 10th through the 12th, we'll be running the Alabama 500. So if you're interested, you like the plate racing, come out and then try and qualify in the heat races on Friday night, June 10th. And if not, come out and watch the full 500 on that Sunday, June 12th. It's going to be a fantastic run there. 500 laps at Talladega.
It's going to be an absolute blast. I'm looking forward to calling it. But one last shout out to all of our sponsors for the night: Cross Collision and Body, J&G Hardwood Flooring, 5-Star Realty Group, Kelly's Custom Engraving, Track Time Entertainment, Nelms Racing, RC2 Race Promotions. That's going to do it for us from Ghostfire Media. I'm Josh Laston. That's Adam Wood. Have yourselves a good evening.
Thank you for watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.